Okay, now we're going to do what we did with the prior topic, except the difference with this one is I don't know, I don't have a graph to look at. Okay, so there's two ways to do this. So I think I'll try to do 4 of these, and I'll try to do 2 one way and do 2 another way. So the first way is to just kind of sketch out where you think these points are going to be, and then use it from there. So if I have the points 3, 4, and negative 6, 4, well, 3, 4 is going to be about 1, 2, 3, and then I'll go up approximately 4 is going to be about here, right? And it doesn't matter how accurate you draw it. What matters, though, is on negative 6, it's the same height both ways. You have basically what would be a straight line if you connected them. So if it's a straight line, all I got to do is count over my x units going this way until I get to the other dot. So an easy way to do that is to say, well, if I have negative 6, 4, I'm going to completely ignore this, and I'm going to recognize that this negative 6 is 6 units away from the y-axis. All right, so this is 6 units right here. And then my 0.34, which is over here, is 3 units away. But it's in the other direction. And then you just kind of add them together. You go, all right, 6 plus 3 is 9. And then we would kind of do the same thing. All right, so let's try that. All right, worked out. So let's do another one. All right. So we've got 3, negative 6, and 3, negative 4. So if I were going to plot this, 3, negative 6 would put me somewhere down here, and 3, 4 would put me somewhere up here, right? And I'd have a line going this way. It's a straight up and down line. It's a vertical line. It goes through the point, x equals 3, which is nice. So this point is 3, 4, which means that it's 4 units away. Right? And then this point right here is the point negative 6, 3, negative 6, right? So that's 6 units away, right? So 4 plus 6 is 10. And that's kind of a, that's a very productive and easy way to get to this. Now, if you're looking for a quicker way to do this, all right? The quicker way to do this is, let's look at, I'm going to stack these up next to each other, all right? And I'm going to say, okay, first of all, locate the ones that are the same. Well, the ones that are the same are these. So I'm going to ignore these, all right? And it doesn't matter if you recognize that they're y or x for these problems. It really doesn't. It's just, all that matters is that you know which numbers you got to work with. And then you just say, okay, so what I'm basically looking for is the difference between negative 3 and 4. And so you have a subtraction problem, right? So what helps is if you have a positive and a negative number, start with your positive number. So you got 4 minus, and then negative 3. So the reason I'm subtracting these is because it's a difference. Difference is a subtraction problem. So 4 minus a negative 3 gives me 4 plus 3 because you have this double negative going on. And then 4 plus 3 is 7. And so you have 7 units. Right? Which is the same as if you said, well, negative 3 is 3 units away from where 0 would be, so that's 3. And then 4 is 4 units away from where 0 is, so 3 and 4 is 7. Right? This is just a more direct way. It involves a little mathier, but it's a lot more direct, right? And if you're bad at subtracting, then you don't have to do it this way. But I just wanted to show it to you in the event that you were like, well, I want to try the faster way. So this one, we have negative 3, negative 7, and negative 3 and 4. So we're going to ignore these because they're the same. And we're going to go negative 7 minus 4. Okay, I didn't use the positive one on purpose first this time because I want to show you something. So if I do negative 7 minus 4, you get negative 11. They're both negative. You basically just add them like they're positive and keep the sign. But we're talking about distance, right? And distance is never negative. Distance is always positive. So it would be almost like you would apply absolute value to this, right? And so this can't be negative. So absolute value of negative 11 is 11. My distance would be 11. So there's kind of a couple different ways to look at this. I hope this helps you. And later on, when we start finding distance in the plane, when they don't make straight or up and down or left to right lines, then we'll be working with the Pythagorean theorem to kind of help us with that. All right.